All right, guys, welcome back. Ryan here once again. So today we're going to continue on what we've been talking about the last couple videos about some wheel end stuff here, wheel bearings and all that. I got a pretty interesting tool here, something that I've never seen something quite like it before, and I'm hoping that they'll let me have one or let me buy one or something, because I think I haven't tried it yet, but it looks pretty awesome. And I think it'll make my job and other people in the business's jobs a lot easier. And like I said, I've never seen a tool quite like this before. And I seen it, and I was looking for one quite like it, and I haven't been able to find one. So it's, like I said, they sent it out to us to test here. So we're going to show it to you all. And first time, this is the first time we've tried it. We didn't stage this before or nothing like that. So you're going to see the first use all right here in real time. So we'll do a little close-ups here and get everything started and show you what everything is, and we'll go from there. Okay, guys, so the company that sent us all this stuff, or this tool and a couple bearing kits and all that, what we're probably going to use on our FLD project, the old Freightliner out here. If you're interested in that, you guys have probably seen the videos, but haven't done a lot on that lately, but there'll be more to follow, but I'll leave it at that. So the company is called Fersa with an F. I always thought it was Versa with a V. It sounds like that, like Versa, but it's actually Fersa with an F. Here's the kit that we're going to use. They're actually a Spanish company from Spain. So I think Spain puts out a lot of good products. I'm a Snap-on tool guy, as you guys probably know, and I believe Snap-on has a factory over in Spain as well. And the tools that I've had that's been made over there have been pretty high quality. And I'm just kind of looking at the quality of the stuff that First sent us here, some bearing kits and this tool. Looks to be pretty high quality as well. So I mean, I haven't used the stuff yet. So I mean, the jury's still out on that. But I mean, appearances are a lot. Packaging, presentation, and all that stuff. So the toolkit we have here, this is their bearings tool wheel end kit. I've got a couple things out. There you go. But what's really interesting about these tools is that they got different sizes here, and these slide, and this will actually break away, so it gives you a lot more clearance to where you can put that down in a hub assembly here. So that's why I was kind of excited about this, because when you're pressing out the inner wheel bearing race is always larger, and you're going through a smaller hole, so you can't get something that's that exact size up inside there because you have a smaller hole on the other end. So with these actually break away, then they adjust, and there's a set screw, so you can adjust it to the width of that race, and then there's a tool here to press it out with a shop press, which we have behind us here. So like I said, this is the first time we've used this. I'm pretty excited about it. Recently I've usually opted to just buy a whole new hub assembly, like a Comet hub assembly here. I mean, I can get the whole thing, bearings, races, seals, and everything in it, good to go. I mean, they're about $500 to $600 roughly. And typically doing it the shade tree way, you're trying to press them out, beat them out, the races I'm talking about, trying to beat those out or do the welding trick and all that, which we've done prior in some of our prior videos or a prior video. You'll have like 3 hours wrapped up in trying to rebuild these things, 2 to 3 hours roughly. I mean, it's very time consuming. And then you take the risk. I mean, this is aluminum. You got a hardened steel race. So, I mean, you take the risk of that, causing damage to the hub itself. So it's a lot of times we found that I would like to get that labor revenue. If I can get this done in an hour, I could make $100 on it and rebuild the person's hub, save them, or the customer's hub, save them some money, and we make a little bit more money because I don't make much money on parts. I mean, I don't mark my parts up, crazy like some places do, 30%, 40%, whatever. We basically mark our stuff up like 5% just to cover our expenses with, handling, credit cards, all that type of stuff. So we don't make a lot of money on parts. So, I mean, I'd rather make money on labor. So if I can get this done efficiently where it's cheaper, for my customer to pay me to rebuild this hub, I'd rather go that way. So that's why I'm pretty excited about these. So we're going to go ahead and give these things a try here. We're going to get set up. We're going to go ahead and press out the outer race first, and then we're going to flip it over and press out the inner race here. So we'll see. We're gonna time this and see how long it takes. So. Okay, so we got the hub set up here. We got our tools set up. Like I said, there's a couple different sizes of these little pushers, I guess you'd call them, or I don't know. So we found the correct one to push out the outer race there. And I'm going to time this. I haven't done that before, but I'm just kind of curious to how long it actually takes. I mean, obviously I'm explaining stuff and all that in the video, so probably a little bit of extra added time for that. But I'm just kind of curious to what this actually takes as far as the process to push out both of these races, because I know what it's taken in prior times. It's taken like 2 or 3 hours, so the time you fight with all this stuff. So we're going to get started here, and I'm going to start a timer. I got my phone here, and we're going to go and start this now. So I got my tool here, and we're going to go ahead and put this down into that outer race, and that fits pretty well right there. So I'm going to pull it. There's a set screw on here because this slides back and forth. So I'm going to go ahead and tighten that guy up so it can't slide. We're going to put that down in there. Got a pretty snug fit, so you can see how that sits down in there. And now we're going to get everything lined up here. And make sure we got good footings down here. And that's a little off. See if I can get that on there. Yeah, I just want to make sure everything's straight here. And there's one out. Okay guys, so I just stopped the clock here for the first race, and we're at 2 minutes and 42 seconds for the outer race out. Alright guys, so the outer race is out. You heard that pop there and it dropped out the bottom. Under 3 minutes, as you saw on the clock, to get the outer one out. So we're going to go ahead and back the press out here. Let this guy go back up, and we're going to flip this over. If I don't fall. There's that piece. And we're done with this one for now. We're going to use a larger tool for the inner bearing, or inner race here. Okay, so there's that outer race. And as you can see, this guy had a little bit of wear in there. Not as terrible as I think the one we saw a couple weeks ago, but there is some wear. So, but it came out relatively easy, and we're gonna go ahead and flip this over and push out that inner race. All right. So we got this guy flipped over. Actually, we gotta start our timer back up here. So now we've got the bigger tool here. So like I said, it's nice that it splits, and this is where this comes in, makes this very valuable, is that it would actually go down in here. So as you can see, if this tool is rigid, it won't go down in there. It just stops right here, but this thing, it breaks away. So we can get past that first ridge and actually put this down in here, which I can't see. And now we're down in there, and that's basically pretty tight. So we'll go ahead and tighten that up and set that set screw, and we'll get this set up to press. Okay, so we had to add the extension here and drop our press down a little bit, but we've kept the timer rolling the whole time. But I'm going to go ahead and hopefully I got enough reach here. Okay. Looks like we do have some movement. Oh, this got really easy. Okay, so the bearing just popped out here and stopped the clock, and we are at 8 minutes and basically 30 seconds to remove both the inner and outer races. So that's, I think the last one we screwed around with, we were out here for like 2 or 3 hours. So that is a game changer. And like I said, this is a drive hub, so that you have a little bit more clearance. I mean, with a steer hub, there's a lot less clearance. But I see this thing working out great for us. You know, with this, I think it actually make it a lot more feasible, a lot more profitable for us as a small shop, and also be able to save our customers some money versus replacing a whole hub. I mean, if I can save that much time with a simple tool. So I mean, I like this a lot, and hopefully maybe they'll leave it with me, or I can buy one or something. So it's pretty exciting. But I'll go ahead and get this picked up here. Pull this out. Like I said, we had to add that extension for that inner side. There's the race, and nothing's damaged. Everything's real clean in there. So yeah, really nice. So we got our tool and our old race there. So yeah, this was, like I said, a little bit of wear in there. So, but yeah, that's pretty much it. Okay, like I said, I think that is the quickest I've ever pressed out races here. We're just doing an extraction today. We'll probably do another video here in the future. I've got a different tool for pressing them in. It looks like firstly, it looks like they also have a tool for pressing the new races in, but I don't think it's in this kit here, unless I'm missing something. Yeah, I don't see that stuff here. You may be able to. I don't think you can use these to press them back in, like I said. But like I said, this was just on the extraction or the disassembly part. This video was. So they sent us some Fersa sent us some bearings here. Pretty nice package. I know they've been pretty much OEM, you know, direct to companies, possibly, you know, transmission builders, axle builders, and stuff like that. And I guess they're looking to kind of go into the direct to the consumer, small shops market. You know, owner operators, small fleet owners, and stuff like that. So eventually, I guess they're going to have a store on their website. So once they get that up and running, we'll keep you guys up to date. You might be able to save a lot of money there with kind of going direct to the manufacturer versus going through, you know, buying, you know, Timkins, SKFs, or whatever. If you're going through Napa or going through Kenworth, Freightliner, whatever, when you're kind of cutting out those other middlemen in there, distributors and stuff like that. So we'll keep you guys up to date on any developments as far as that stuff goes. But like I said, this tool I think is a game changer. Like I said, I've searched for race presses and stuff like that, and I've never found anything because I'd seen they had sent us some pictures and stuff of this tool before, and like I said, I wanted to get my hands on it, and they finally sent it to us with some of their bearing kits and stuff like that. But like I said, I'm pretty impressed, and like I said, hopefully I can get one of these here permanently. And like I said, I think it'll help us be more productive here, save customers some money, and make us a little bit of money too on the side. So with that, guys, I hope that helps you out. You know, like I said, we always like to feature, you know, money saving, work saving tools such as these. And we got, like I said, we got some bearings and stuff we're gonna feature of Fersa's. You know, kind of test some of those out. Like I said, they're kind of new to the North American market, and especially going to direct to the consumers. So we'll see how that all plays out, and we'll share everything with you guys as we do always. So thanks for watching, guys. If you're new, please subscribe if you haven't already. You know, always hit that bell for the updates and like the videos, and leave comments and questions, and we'll do the best we can to get back with you. So again, thanks for watching, thanks for all the support, and we'll see you next time.